Hey there all. Today I will be covering one of the chapters that your teachers might have told study it yourself or study that in tuitions or just revise it on yourself. But let's break that stereotype and let's dive into the reproductive system. We'll be doing it in part wise so you will understand the big chapter in a very easy and a small manner. So that we'll go to part 1, that's the female reproductive system. Okay? And what is the definition of reproduction? Reproduction, in simple terms, is just a process by which new individuals or new offsprings are born from their parent or parents. Okay, essentially, it's more like how animals want to create more of their kind, or how us humans we want to create more of our kind, right? So there are two primary forms of reproduction, that is the sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Okay. What is the role of a female reproductive system? Female reproductive system has a lot of roles. It produces egg in the ovaries which are transported via the oviducts. There's a male sperm which fertilizes the egg to produce an embryo which can implant in the uterus wall, eventually develop into a baby. The female reproductive system regulates the process by various different hormones which is produced in the ovaries and the pituitary gland. Okay. Next, we'll learn about what is an ovary. As you can see in the diagram below me, you can see a cloud-like feature, right? Or a cloud-like picture. But that's not a cloud. That is called as an ovary. Female reproductive system has two ovaries. They contain undeveloped egg, which is called as ova. Hence the term ovary, which is present from birth. From the child is born, the ova is already present there. They also create hormones which regulates the menstrual cycle, which comes in every month. One of the ovary releases a mature egg as a part of a menstrual cycle. What about the oviduct? So you can see a small tube-like structure which is already highlighted. That's an oviduct. Oviduct are two tubes which is connected the ovary to the uterus. Oviduct is also known as a fallopian tube. They are linked to hair-like cells called cilia to move the egg from the ovary to the uterus. Then we have the uterus. Uterus is a muscular with a soft lining. Fertilized egg can implant in the uterus wall and develop to an embryo, to a baby over course of time called as pregnancy. Lining of the uterus wall comes away and falls during the process of period if an egg is not fertilized by a sperm. Then we have a cervix. You can see a small tube-like structure, right? It looks like a straw. That's called as a cervix. Cervix is a ring of muscle which keeps the baby in the uterus during pregnancy. The cervix dilates and opens up during labor. Labor is when the child is coming out. Then we have something called as a period. So what is period? The word period can have several meanings. This is a monthly shedding of the lining of the uterus in women and people who menstruate. It's a normal part of the menstrual cycle where blood and tissue from the vagina passes out of the body through the vagina. Okay. What is it? What is it? Menstrual cycle is a cycle which begins at the puberty to prepare the body for pregnancy. Lasts around 28 days but can be shorter or longer regarding on your body structure or your body weights. Okay, if a young person has just started to have periods, that's when you can count from 28 days onwards. Okay, then you have what happens on day 1. So bleeding from the vagina begins. This is known as having a period of menstruation caused by the loss of lining in the uterus. Period usually lasts for an average of 4 to 5 days, but however it can be longer or shorter depending on the person. Okay, then we have day 5. Bleeding stops, ovum and egg starts to mature in one of the ovaries, lining of the uterus starts to regrow. Okay, then we have a day 14 where a mature ovum travels to the oviduct, that I already told, a tube-like structure, right? Travels to the oviduct to the uterus. This process is called as ovulation. Then we have day 28 as the last day. Ovum has not joined with the sperm cell in the oviduct. The lining of the uterus begins to break down again. The cycle starts again and you have your period. Okay. So, what is pregnancy? So, fertilization occurs when a sperm and an egg join during sex. The fertilized egg implants in the lining of the uterus. This start of the pregnancy, during the pregnancy, menstruation does not happen, so periods doesn't come because there's a baby growing in you. What are the top tips that you can remember regarding periods or menstruation? That there we are all different. So periods and menstrual cycles can really vary. Second point is, if you're struggling with your period or feel something is wrong within you, there's always help and you can always seek for some medical advice. Okay. So answer these questions and put them down in the comment box. We'll see how well you've understood this chapter. Number 1, what's the function of the ovaries? 2, where does fertilization typically occur? Okay, thanks all for coming on this beautiful journey. If you want to know more, there's in the description box you will have a blog to follow up for this chapter. You can refer to that to make your own notes. Have any doubts, put them down in the comment box. As usual, we will explore more different chapters and more interesting chapters here in Pathshala. Follow us to learn more.